Welcome back to a brand new episode of Private Parts with me, Liv Bentley. This is the podcast where nothing is off limits. And this week we have got my favourite Made in Chelsea couple, and that is Sam and Alice. Welcome. Yay. Now, before we get into it, because obviously, Sam, you're going through it. We've seen it everywhere. Yeah. It's been a lot for you this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's been an emotional rollercoaster.
Let's back it up to the beginning. So you and I crossed paths on Made in Chelsea very briefly before I quit.
Well, actually, no, the first season I did, you weren't on, and then you came back, and then you went, no.
I came back to push my vibrators, that was it.
That was it,
Just really using that,
literally
promotion.
and metaphorically.
But then you two met pretty quickly on there.
Not on the show.
No, yeah, how did you actually meet?
My version or the real version?
Let's go with the fake version.
Oh, you explain your version. Just so you know, this isn't true, so don't listen to anything he says.
It is. It is. It's slightly exaggerated, I'll give you that, but it is very, very true. So, I mean, everyone can obviously... We were actually at the Euros final.
It was my birthday.
Watching the football. And it was really, really crowded. Do you know the paddle yard?
Yes, I'm familiar with that.
Yeah. So it was
like with that big screen
they
up,
put big
like,
screens
to watch
up,
the football.
to watch the football. I was just having a great time with Rez actually, and a few other friends, and we were just having a really, really good time. And I sort of looked up to my left, and there was this girl who was standing on a table. And anyway, it was the girl next to her that was Alice. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. It was the girl standing on the table was Alice, and she was staring at me.
That's lie one, by the way.
She was staring
fangirling.
at me, like absolutely staring at me. So I turned round to my housemate at the time, and I went, "Is that girl staring at me?" And he turned back to me, and he went, "Yeah, I think she is." I went, "I'm gonna go talk to her." And anyway, so
Alice looks horrified.
Yeah, it's absolutely horrified.
To be fair, my memory is a bit hazy because I was quite drunk. It was my birthday and I'd been out for the 3 previous days, kind of rolling. So I don't think I was staring at you. It takes 2 people to hold eye contact.
Alice maintains the defence that we were holding eye contact.
Also, I was facing the other way. I'm watching the screen. Every time I turned round like this...
Old pervert here was looking.
He's like this, staring at me. And look at his eyes. Look at his
Pick
big
a team,
eyes.
okay? And you picked one. We know each other longer,
no,
right?
sorry. So that's how you met, and then you got together pretty quickly.
Yeah. So
You
she was...
followed me to a club after, didn't you?
No, both
Yeah,
And then you tried to kiss me.
Can I tell you something?
Like...
You know how people say like online dating can be weird? This is sounding creepier.
No, to be fair, we both knew the owner of a club, and so we all went to the... you probably know which club it is.
Oh, God, don't.
Bit of promotion. Poor Chasey.
Oh, yeah.
And so we ended up back there, and we had the most... We were talking a lot, and then right at the end of the evening...
I don't remember any of the second
I
half.
leant in to kiss, and it was the most awkward, uncomfortable kiss.
Because I'm like...
And we like...
Did you turn away?
And I was like, oh my God, it was like...
Kissing strangers in a club at that age. I'm just like, what? I'm looking at this guy like, you know when they shut their eyes and they like purse their lips? I'm like looking at him like, oh my God, like backing
you're
off.
making me cringe. You're making me cringe. Oh my God, I'm cringing at myself. I was really drunk.
How on earth did
only
we end up here?
imagine.
I actually don't know.
Oh my God.
That's something out of a horror film.
I also had a cold at the time, so I was thinking, I was like, oh, like germs. Like,
No, you're saying this story way worse now. This is really sad.
Listen, you're now pregnant, you're engaged, it obviously worked.
You know what? Normally when we tell the story, it's actually really nice and romantic. This is sounding
no,
horrific.
it's not romantic. You just tell everyone that I was staring at you, and that's how.
And
it
then she
happened.
insulted me, and then
That is
but
true.
then I stole her phone. Oh my God, this sounds really bad now, doesn't it? I stole her phone, put my details in it, and then the next day texted her for 5 days straight.
People make shows out of this kind of story.
He invited me to the World Championship sumo wrestling fight or something.
I'm also apparently a compulsive liar because that didn't exist.
And I was like, no one's ever said anything like that. I've
Wait,
gotta go.
sorry. You invited her to the Sumo Wrestling World Championship.
Yeah, for our first
Well,
date.
I thought,
Which was
this
a lie,
girl is
drinks.
unbelievable. Like, I've got to come up with something that's going to get her on a date with
I
me.
have to say, of all invitations,
It would make you go, right?
was it to put you in a better light?
You know what? If you tell the story in a nice way, it seems really romantic. The way we're telling the story here today
romanticize
sounds
that.
really like narcissistic, liar, like scary,
Creep.
like I really probably should leave right now.
Okay, well, after all this entertainment, then how many months were you together before you got engaged?
Oh,
Because it was a quick turnaround.
quick.
Because there were female cast members. Because that's when I filmed was your engagement party, and there were some of the girls on the show were apoplectic. They'd been waiting 20 years to get engaged, and there you are, 3 months in.
To be fair, we got engaged
September, and we
9 months in.
9 months. For some reason, you told everyone 6 months.
6 months. Well, 6 months after I met, I knew I was gonna marry Alice, so I got the ring.
Listen, I rate that.
And then 9 months actually in, I actually proposed. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? Everyone says when you know, and honestly, I knew from the moment of meeting Alice, like
Really?
if I was lucky enough, that would be the girl. This would be the girl I'd marry.
That's so cute.
That is so
Yeah.
sweet.
And then I was like, everything happened, and in your head, you're like, oh, I should wait 2 years because that's the thing to do, and I've got to get to know her. And then when you go through like a bit of a health struggle, it puts everything in perspective.
Wait, were you engaged pre what happened?
No. Now, I don't want it to sound like, oh, I got engaged because of the health problem, because that's not what happened at all. I knew before that. It just made me realise that I didn't need to wait.
Yeah.
And there's
I
a
suppose
key
it does
difference.
put a lot of things into perspective.
Exactly.
It's funny now looking back, everyone's saying it was so quick. I think at the time, I especially got my back up. I'm like, it's really not that quick.
It's also no one else's fucking business.
Yeah,
But then
I'm
again,
like,
when you're on a
your
reality
opinion
show,
isn't
people
that
like to give
relevant,
their
like-
opinions.
Yeah, but looking back, I'm like, actually, it makes sense because if you haven't experienced that, if you have never met that person where you can't relate, you just can't understand. So looking back, I get it now.
Do you think you knew when you met Sam that he's the one you wanted to marry?
Not on the day.
Well, not after
But
his
very
actions, actually.
quickly after, yeah.
He should actually slightly get arrested for that, but yeah.
Yeah, very quickly after. Yeah, everything was just right. Everything was clicking. Like, you're literally like the male version of me, just a bit louder. With a...
God, you guys are fucking lucky. It doesn't happen often, let me tell you.
I remember it unfolding and I'm like, this is not normal.
Because wait, sorry,
like,
how old are you both?
I'm 24.
28.
Fuck, you're both young.
Yeah.
I'm old and haggard.
But then, like, I think this generation doesn't just commit, like, and this is my view, is it's so, I'm a hopeless romantic.
Yeah.
I think it's so amazing to meet someone, to fall in love, to get married, go have kids. I think what a journey we're on together.
No,
and
I think it's amazing.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, it's not like we would have done this with anyone else. I think we've both been in long-term relationships where we, like, equally knew that they weren't right. It was just, when it was right, it was like, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah. And now on to your Made in Chelsea careers. Have you both enjoyed it? Alice, what did you think when you first started?
The first series was a complete shambles, to be honest.
It's a younger crowd now,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, I think they
Yeah.
needed to do that though, right? You can't
100%.
You know, even I feel like me on the borderline. I'm about to hit my 30s. Like, even me talking about playing Kiss, you know, spin the bottle.
Sweetheart, I was there trying to flog my fucking business. I can't be playing spin the bottle with these 20-year-olds. I'm 31. I literally said to her, I was like, it's not, I can't do this.
I think the moment you cross into your 30s, like, playing spin the bottle is a bit beneath
It's really
you.
unacceptable.
So they needed that. And I think some of the guys are on it today are fantastic. Like, yeah,
Yeah, no,
kudos.
you've got. I've seen some of the clips come off my Instagram. It looks like it's got quite
I
a
think
feisty
it's
Charles
car.
is great.
We
He's
love
such a
some of the new
sweetheart.
people, and not that we even know them too well, but Kit and Liv, we're massive fans of. We watch it.
Do you?
Yeah. Everyone like, oh, I
Yeah.
don't. Everyone, it's our guilty pleasure as well.
We don't really know what's going on. Like, we're quite separate. So it's like watching it unfold. I'm
So
like,
we
whoa,
watch it back,
I didn't know
and
this
we
was
like
happening.
comment, like really, like we comment on everyone else.
Really?
Yeah.
And we
so
realise
funny.
we're like, we get so invested. We have right fun.
Fuck, maybe I should start
Yeah, it's
watching
good
it
fun.
again.
Yeah, to watch it like kind of removed when you're not involved in the situations is like really good fun.
Yeah, because when I was on it, I couldn't think of anything worse than watching it.
Oh, I hate watching
I
myself.
can't watch
Oh,
myself.
No, no.
You watch yourself like 20 times a day. That is
No.
a lie.
I critique myself. I'm like, oh my god, I'm
I
awful.
can't even listen to my voice. I'm like covering my ears, like, get this over.
It's because it's a bit intense, isn't it? And then you suddenly go, oh my God, what am I wearing? That's literally what I did the whole time. As fans of the show now, who are you actually invested in?
We are so invested in the love triangle.
Who?
Do you know, Livy has really surprised me.
Okay, wait. Livy dated Jack Taylor.
Jack Taylor.
Yeah.
Bless Jack. Jack is also.
I
like,
think
a real
he's charming,
sweetheart.
by the way.
He's so sweet. And at the start, like, because they broke up and it was quite like a lot, I was like, whoa. Like, everyone kind of thought she was doing her thing a little bit too much.
I think I'm going to say the thing that, like, bless Jack, we love him, but it got boring, like the him chasing after her.
You know, you're talking about his heartbreak here.
No, but like I know it's
Like,
awful. I know. I
someone's
would
heart.
hate that. I'm so sorry, Jack, but it's true. It got boring. But then she got into this love triangle with Chugs and Kit. I was so invested.
I was like a woman in a male
I was
role,
like,
you know?
yeah, woman power.
Like, really?
You know,
Tomboy
Was she
antics.
owning it?
Yeah.
She was owning
it.
And she was so honest. She's like, I don't want anything serious. And then she's got like these two guys like crying.
You
over
guys
her.
like cry over. It was like literally.
Like, I
role
love Chugs
reversal.
though. Chugs is brilliant. Like he deserves the world. But it was
But wait,
so
who's
funny.
she gone for now? Is she still playing the boat?
She's just like, I don't want
know.
a relationship. I want to be single. I'm in my single era.
I
And we're
think
like,
that's
go
great.
live
live it.
Go live it, yeah.
Oh my God, it's
We're like
amazing.
proper, yeah. And then you got like Chugs and Kit crying over. It's fantastic. I mean, in the last scene of the episode, Kit's like looking lustfully into her and like they're talking about how he still likes her. It's
It
like,
was like a
this
like
is amazing.
Wait,
movie
I
scene.
actually feel
Great.
like I should tune in. This
It's
does
actually-
sound good.
I have to say, this season was one of my favourites. I felt like, we hadn't been, the OG season, everyone always talks about the OGs.
Yeah.
They're not
so
being as
different,
good.
Though. Those are nothing
I
will
think
compare. I
this
don't think.
combined with my near-death experience made the best season of
Not
Made
the way
in
you
Chelsea.
say that, like slightly laughing.
If you don't laugh, you cry.
No, no, God, don't. So who and what else? So have you been in it much or not? Or are you taking a little step back?
Not really. Like
we
not
have been.
Yeah, but, like,
towards the beginning we were.
in our own kind of bubble, like with Ollie, Tabitha, that kind of.
Yeah.
It's
vibe.
actually this season was it's really weird to comment on because it was such an emotional season for us and everything was so real, so
Yeah.
authentic.
I think
It
I
was
cried
about-
in every single scene I'm in, but I
But
think pregnancy hormones.
in
so,
regards to like reality TV for us, it was literally completely our reality. Everything that you saw on camera, there was nothing
happening.
produced. There was everything happened. So it became. We didn't really think about filming the TV show. This was just our lives,
Yeah.
and the cameras were following us around.
So I want to start from the beginning with all of this because obviously for anyone listening who isn't aware of Sam's story, start from where it all began. So Christmas last year,
Well, it goes way before then.
Yeah.
I had liver disease. From the age
knowingly
of
your
4.
whole life.
Knowingly my whole life, but to the whole point they were going, "You're fine. We'll check you up every 3." Like when I was born, it was that you could need a liver transplant, and then as I got older,
Yeah.
they were like, "You're fine. You could live your whole life without one."
Is
We'll
this
just keep an eye on you."
hereditary or genetic?
Yeah,
It is.
genetic. Yeah.
And so
Both my parents carry the gene, and there's like 1 in 100,000 chance of getting the gene, and then the mixing, and then the 50-50 chance. And my brother doesn't have the disease, I do.
right.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And so, but the whole life was okay. At the beginning, they thought potentially may need a liver transplant, and then as I grew up, they were like, "Oh, you might never need one. Like you're doing so well. We'll see you next year." Like
Yeah, when I
it's
met
like-
you, you were so healthy. Like he was living like such a normal life.
Well, because when I met him, let me tell you, it was the Henley Regatta. I've never seen anyone take shots down like it. I'm talking about me. No, I'm joking. It was both of us. But no, because now obviously you don't party at all.
No, I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do anything. And they always said to me, "You can live your life normally. You can, drink or whatever." And so I did. And then when I got ill last year, they were like, "Yes, this is all completely genetic. So there's no relation to alcohol, but don't drink going forward because your liver's not great."
And when you say you got ill, what started happening?
It started with the flu, actually.
Well, it was so all of a sudden, essentially what I've got is fibrosis on my liver. And that's never really impeded the function of my liver.
Okay.
And suddenly I think to my knowledge, the fibrosis has grown through the liver where it's now starting to impede the function of it, whereby what happens as bile passes through my liver, like normal people, it just passes through and gets filtered out. The liver is basically a massive filter. Mine doesn't filter it too well. And the bile sometimes sits in the liver. And when the bile sits, it can gather bacteria. And when the bacteria gathers, it can get an infection. Those infections can be life-threatening, as what happened last year. And that infection, took a turn and became septic, and nearly killed me. Yeah.
But we think this all kind of happened because he was already so run down from like having the flu and various other things, and then it just hit you like a brick.
Yeah, because
didn't
that's
it, really?
fucking terrifying. And what you were rushed, you took yourself to hospital.
Well,
I think an ambulance had been called in the 2 weeks previously like 4 times. And like people didn't really know what was going on because I don't think they took your bloods, did they? They thought the symptoms he had
did
were
the
still kind of
first time.
fluey.
it's
So-
all a bit vague, and they really didn't know what was going on. I was ill, but I wasn't, and no one knew what was going on. They thought I had I had an asthma attack.
Yeah.
And then I think that weakened my immune system. And I got the flu, and that weakened my immune system. And I think that's what allowed, because my immune system was so weak, allowed the infection to take hold in the liver, and that's what nearly took hold of me. But yeah.
I think
yeah.
looking back, there were signs like you were a bit yellow, like your eyes were a bit yellow. If I'd picked up on those signs earlier, maybe.
I mean, I
don't
seen
know.
That was
the
only in the
photos
last
in the
day.
Daily Mail. I honestly was like,
Oh, yeah.
Jesus. It's
Yeah,
terrifying.
I mean, so that's what was crazy. It was the moment the infection really took hold and the sepsis really took hold. I mean, basically all my organs went into shutdown.
Did you think you were going to die?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Literally. That
Just
was...
out of curiosity, what does that feel like? I know it's a
mean,
weird thing to ask,
You
but
were
like,
Yeah.
so delirious, though. I'm surprised you even.
Well, it was
Good
only so
focus.
that's the interesting part. For the first few days, I was like, you're just delirious, you're out of it, you don't really know what's going on.
You couldn't make
and then
any
it was
sense out of
actually
what
when I
you're
was starting,
saying.
when you start to feel better, that then you realise how ill you are. And you realise, oh shit. And when you say to the doctor, am I out the woods? And they're like, no, you're not out the woods. Like, you're still, like, your infection is still really high. And yes, the infection rate's coming down, but at any point, this could take a turn, right? And it's at that point when, you know what? The doctors don't tell you unless you ask. And there's a reason why they don't tell you things. 'Cause they don't want to scare you. But they never, if you ask, they tell you. And I stupidly ask too much questions. I investigate. When I get something in me, I have to know every single
He
detail.
was
I
like
obsess
talking
over
like the
things.
doctor by the end of it.
I
Seriously.
obsess over things. So when it's my work, when it's my when it's so to do like social relationships, when it's to do with my health, I obsess over something.
yeah.
So that's what happened. So by every time the doctor would come around, I would have notes and notes that I would write up, even though I was like,
I think they were a bit taken aback actually by you and how
and I
much
would I'd
you
write all my notes
retained.
up, like all the different levels through my bloods, how they were
Yeah,
coming
but to
down
be
each
fair,
day.
you kind of hear these horror stories sometimes where doctors go, "Oh, you're fine," and
You
you're
don't wanna
certainly
sit
not
through,
fine.
like the pages, do you?
My experience of the NHS, I always talk about it so highly. I can't fault the care.
Yeah.
From what I've seen personally, I understand there are horror stories out there and really,
Yeah.
really scary, but I don't think the NHS gets enough praise, and they've saved my life multiple
Well, no,
times.
that is
So,
amazing.
you know, I
Even going
credit where
back to that
credit's due.
hospital, like after he had sepsis, suddenly there were like signs up everywhere saying, could it be sepsis? Like warning signs. So obviously they were being proactive,
Really?
trying to catch more cases.
There's been because obviously the sepsis thing is like, I think, is it 1 in 5 deaths are sepsis related?
Really?
It's like basically sepsis is any infection which just snowballs out of control.
and affects like multiple
So
organs. or
it can
blood.
literally anyone get sepsis, and it's about basically the whole point of sepsis is just realizing that you've got an infection before it gets out of control. Whether it's a chest infection, whether it's a cut which becomes infected and leads to blood poisoning.
Sounding thick, how would one recognise if you have got sepsis?
Well, this is the
Quite a few
sepsis
times.
that I had was blood sepsis.
Wait, you've had sepsis too?
Yeah, my grandma died from sepsis.
What?
Yeah.
My uncle had sepsis. He had his toes cut off because he's got
Holy
The
shit,
sepsis
it's
that I had
ferocious.
It's so
was
common.
blood infection. So the way that I knew is because I sent a photo to my mum. I was living in Bali and she was like, that rash looks bad, put a glass on it. If the rash doesn't go, I believe, then it's probably sepsis. So then I went to hospital and got everything treated. He didn't have a rash. So that for me was
Because
the
mine
one
was an
warning
Yeah.
sign.
Mine was an internal
Organ.
organ sepsis. So it was the infection was taking place
Yeah.
inside my liver.
And the warning signs can be mistaken for anything. So for you, it was
Fever.
like the
Fever.
deliriousness, the
Yeah.
dry mouth, like things like that, which you could mistake for being anything else, you know?
Normal, kind of it like infections. But I think the biggest thing is if an infection is not going away or you're not recovering from a fever, dehydration and delirium.
Well, yeah,
you just
because I
get into
watched that
hospital.
clip you said with Paul Brunson and you drank a litre of water and you're still thirsty.
Yeah, mental.
That
You
is
look
mental.
back on it now and you go, wow, yeah. I look back on it now
Things make
and
sense now in hindsight.
what's really interesting is I look back on that situation now and I would never mistake those signs again.
Yeah.
And I would always get into hospital. So when it happens to you once, you know what signs are, right? And I've had infections since and been into hospital, got my antibiotics and out. And it sounds so silly, right? A persistent fever, dehydration where you can't hydrate yourself and stuff like this. You'd go, people probably listen and go, oh yeah, that's quite obvious. You should probably get into hospital. But so many people from those like statistics obviously don't get into hospital.
But I think also it's really hard because it's like now you don't know the difference between the common cold, COVID,
This is what I'm
neurovirus. Like there's
saying. He had
everything and it's
flu the
like,
week
oh, you'll be
before,
alright.
So we're just like, oh, it's just prolonged flu or something, or he's taking codeine. Oh, these could be signs of having a little bit too much codeine. You
Yeah.
just don't know.
Yeah.
God. And so wait, so off the back of that, then when did you discover that you now actually do need a liver transplant?
So that was a couple months ago.
Is this off the back of this sepsis situation,
No.
or you always knew it was going to happen?
This was always a possibility. So the sepsis was a result of my liver disease, not liver disease being a result of the sepsis. So I've always had this liver disease, and suddenly it's progressed, unfortunately. And some people go their whole lives without it ever progressing. Some people just, progress at a far more rapid rate than I do.
Yeah.
Some people have to have transplants at the age of 4. And all of a sudden mine's progressed where, unfortunately, and the thing is, although the liver regenerates, this disease doesn't get better. So
Your liver regenerates with the cyst and the
So my liver is this, and it's not going to get better from here. It's only going to get worse.
So day-to-day life, it doesn't impact?
Absolutely fine. Because your liver, the way your liver works is it works until it doesn't.
Yeah.
And then it falls off a cliff.
So it's almost like a waiting game for that to happen for you.
Well, yeah, and that's why they want to do the liver transplant. So that you look at me now and they go, this is why we want to do a liver transplant now, because we don't want you to fall off the cliff. We want to do it before the cliff.
Yeah. And how often does a liver come around?
I mean, how long's a piece of string? Some people the average wait time is 3 to 5 months, but that's because people at the top of the priority list can be done within weeks, days.
Where are you in the priority list?
You don't know. It's all algorithm based.
And that also changes because new people come along. They need transplants.
You might
and things,
become more ill.
You might become a higher priority or a lower priority. If he doesn't have another infection, they might be like, okay, we can hold off a little bit.
Yeah,
it just changes constantly.
So some people get transplants within weeks. I've heard multiple stories like this.
It depends
Other people
on
have been waiting like 2 years. Oh yeah, of course, like your blood type. If you're a rare blood type or a free or a common blood type.
You can't just have anyone's liver, like it has to match you well, and they'll do a lot of research into who they think the best fit for that liver is.
Yeah.
And on the priority list.
And also when the liver comes along, so let's say someone passes away, they think the liver's good, they examine the liver, so you might get loads of not fake calls, but you might go into hospital expecting you're going to have a liver transplant. They have a look at the liver and they go, actually, no, this liver's not good enough.
So how does this work? You basically wait around, because Alice and I were at the same event, and she was saying that you can't travel. So So you got to stay in the country for just.
Well, those details I find out in about month's time, about the 5th or 12th of December, I believe I'm going to find out all of those details. But I think I'm handed like a pager, which obviously doesn't lose reception, and you have to stay within a certain radius of, let's say, King's College Hospital, where I'm probably going to get the liver transplant. And if that goes off, you get straight into hospital. And because a liver only survives 12 hours outside or 6 hours outside the human body, they can preserve it with a bit of fluid around it or put it on ice, but that's why only 1% of deaths are viable for organ transplant, because a lot of the manner of deaths that happen
is too far gone.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's crazy. And this is where the hard-hitting statistics comes along, whereas if only 1% of organs are viable for transplantation when they die, that means you're actually 3 times more likely to need a transplant of an organ than you are to be able to give one. Yeah. Yeah. So you've got way more chance. And then everyone says that's why you should always give your organs.
Yeah.
And then everyone...
I do that. Not that anyone would want my organs, let me say. Although I have to say my liver's in much better conditions. It's my lungs that I don't think people would be partial.
No.
That's the only thing. They're probably black. But how do you feel about all this? Like, what's your... Because obviously now you're having a baby.
Yeah, so none of this happened. I was already pregnant before we found out that he needed to have a transplant. So everything was good. Sam, we felt like, had recovered. He'd been told that they'd compared scans and there wasn't really much change in his scans. So actually, when he was told, we think you need to go for a transplant assessment, it kind of was a big shock compared to what was being said before. So it was a bit of a whoa, your life kind of flashes before your eyes.
Especially because you just had so many different amazing things. Like you got through that, you got engaged, you got pregnant.
Well, that's the thing. Like this, I said to Alice as a joke, life will never not be entertaining with me.
It's not boring, that's for sure.
That was what I said. Life will never be boring with me. Jesus Christ, have I delivered on that?
Life is like a...
She probably thought it was bad enough that she's been shoved on a reality show after being stalked by you, and now she's got to wait around.
Stalked by me, put on a reality TV show, got engaged, impregnated, now told that I need...
What? I didn't like that word.
Impregnated.
Yeah, that's... Sounds like you got a turkey baster out. Come on, Alice.
it followed suit of this whole rhetoric that we're following in regards to my stalker.
I think I'm getting used to the highs and lows now. Like, I don't think we ever have like a flat median. It's always like spiking highs and lows.
It's really messed up. This is really messed up. I've had like a friend pass away recently, and his sister passed away. Horrific circumstances. You become numb to highs and lows. It's that's what's happened to my emotions. It's like I
think it's fight or flight, really.
Yeah.
You can't react, like, because you're dealing with it. It's your life. You have to get through it.
How are you actually dealing with it? Like, do you guys speak to anyone, or is it just you've got each other trying to
speak
help?
to each other a lot.
We speak a lot. We have
We're
like
very
our moments.
open.
We're extremely open relationship. I think
not in
Yeah,
that
I was
way.
about to say, tread carefully saying that. I don't think she wants that either.
careful. on that.
Honest
relationship.
relationship.
Yeah. Extremely open.
That's a whole
relationship.
different.
Oh, that's going to be great in the trailer. No, all the DMs that you would suddenly get, disgusting.
Someone offering to join a relationship, the other one offering a liver. Like,
Oh my
it's,
God,
mixed
yeah.
bag.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, and this is obviously quite deep, what are the chances of your baby having the liver disease?
We were worried about that, so we did get bloods done very early. I think like 9 weeks or something, right?
So less than 1% chance.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know if that test showed if I carry the gene or not.
Yeah, I don't know if we'd explained it enough. But to be honest, now I would go to further testing, but then I think, hold on a second, it was not going to change anything. You know, I'm still living a happy, life all the way up until 28, and will go on after my transplant to live a very, very happy life. So it's not like it would ever change anything.
In the papers, they said something like, you've got 4 years to live. Can we get the truth behind what actually that means? Or if you are...
It's
Context is such an important
But this
thing,
is, but no,
isn't
because
it?
honestly, I was suddenly like, Jesus fucking Christ. I was like, that's absolutely
Think about the family that he's not
terrifying.
told
No, but for
reading
people
this.
reading that.
Yeah.
But and I want to get this straight because so much gets taken out of context and everything gets clipped. Every podcast that you do, every article
Don't worry,
that you
I won't
do.
stitch you up on this one.
No, because it's what happens is, yes, doctors said that to me. Yes, I repeated that to people, but it wasn't, I've got 4 years left to live. That's not what I said. Is my liver will not make it 4 or 5 more years.
In the current state.
Context of that
is
I'm going to have a liver transplant, and so that and with that liver transplant I will be completely healthy.
There's nothing to be done to the liver that he has.
Yeah.
They can't do anything.
Yeah.
The only option is to replace it. And I think that's the context that people are missing. Like, he will be fine. That's why the next step's happening. That's why he's having a transplant, so he can go on to live a long, happy life.
Yeah. But everything gets like so, and then you get the comments. It's like, because I tried to set that straight in Paul Brunson's podcast, and then someone comments, "Oh, but Sam said that on Made in Chelsea." Well, yes, but the context in Made in Chelsea, which Made in Chelsea gave, was, and Made in Chelsea did really well in doing this. Something I'm very happy to be a part of Made in Chelsea and thank them very much for. Is they gave all the context surrounding that, and if you just pick up on the one line, yes, you can make anything sound anyway.
It's mental, isn't it, when someone's like, it's a slightly life-threatening situation and people use it for clickbait? Like,
honestly,
it's fucking mental.
I think because we found the information out about 8 to 10 weeks before all the headlines started to hit as the show came out.
So we'd processed it. We were
Like,
dealing with it.
It was like he was re-grieving the situation. Like, he went in like a complete downward spiral because he's reading these headlines, he's reading all the messages he's getting, and it's convincing him that he's not okay.
Yeah, that's
Do you know
terrifying.
what I mean? Like, all of these people are catastrophizing the situation because of headlines and things like that, and it's making him question himself, all the stuff he's already tried to process,
Yeah. Other than this, like, what have the comments actually been like?
Oh, I have
Everyone's
to
so
say,
supportive.
amazing. And this is like humanity at its finest. Something I just, every message you receive is really, really nice, to the point, all the way to the uber extreme of people offering half their livers.
Are you
Like,
serious? Oh my God, it's giving me
unbelievable,
goosebumps.
Yeah, I know, it's unbelievable.
Can it work that way? Can people
So,
give half a liver?
The biggest thing, and this is firstly, I'd love to reply to every single 1,000 of DMs, but there are so many you can't, and I'd spend all my day in messages. So the biggest thing is, yes, that can work, but that is a last resort. So
They wouldn't want you to do that for like someone healthy because you're putting yourself in a situation.
Firstly, I wouldn't want to subject a healthy person to give me their liver because and it's a really weird, fortunately thing to say, but hopefully thing to say. Hopefully I'll get it from someone who's passed away who doesn't need it, rather than taking half of a living, healthy person.
It's those like last case situations where like people need one very urgently because they're going downhill and like they could get to the point where they can't have one because they'll be too unhealthy. It's like an emergency situation like that they would consider like taking like.
So like if I was really on the ropes and I wasn't gonna get one straight away from then we'd start looking at family so like you could get on a few more years and survive the next few years and then get. This is the whole problem with the liver disease, and they just don't know how my liver's gonna do, and they just don't want to risk.
And they can't predict anything really.
No.
You just one does.
It's so rare.
Like when I was 4, they said I was going to need a liver transplant when I was 15 or 16. So that was 12 years ago.
Yeah.
I've been on medication, and then when I was like 15, 16, they were like, "Oh, we'll just keep an eye on you." And then when I was like 26, 27, they were like, "We'll see you in a couple years. Oh, don't worry about it." This was how lighthearted. And then all of a sudden, 28, it's like everything's just But my liver function day to day hasn't fallen off a cliff.
Yeah.
My liver function still day to day but all of a sudden what's happened is it's just started the first where I've contracted infections in my liver a few times.
Is it an age thing or is it what? It's just no one knows.
I think it's about the way his liver regenerates. Like it's regenerating with. It's obviously got a bigger blockage now than previously.
It's not regenerating. It's more about the fibro. I believe, and I haven't confirmed this with doctors.
Now that you're the doctor.
Now I'm the doctor, but yeah, exactly.
Listen, I've been on ChatGPT, let me tell you.
Yeah,
I'm now a doctor too. I'm actually a lawyer, funnily enough.
This is the biggest thing. You should not do any of it on online. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, when I found out he needed a transplant, I went on Google.
Did you get into a spiral of thinking that like
this
yeah, the worst
statistics are awful.
Mortality rate. That's so you go. So obviously, when you get told you need a liver transplant, you go. The first thing you Google is what's the likelihood of me surviving a liver transplant, right?
And then life expectancy after as well.
So that starts off quite well. So you go, what's the likelihood of me surviving a liver transplant? And it goes, and it's great, 95%. You go, relax. But then
you scroll down.
Yeah, literally. And then it goes, the mortality rate of making it past 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20, 25.
And
by
it
the
just
time
goes
you're at
down,
25,
down.
No, stop.
Just by the time you're at 25 years, it's like 50-50. I'm like, so then you're like shitting yourself. You're like, I was hoping to make it to like 70, and I'm laughing because, you have to laugh.
Yeah.
I was hoping to make it to 70, 80. Now it's like 50-50. I'll make it past 50. I mean, that's fucked. But with research, context, which is what we're learning is everything, right? Context is your average liver transplantee patient is elderly, an alcoholic, or got other diseases, or it's a very different category of patient, and they drag that mortality rate down.
Yeah.
How do averages work? If you've got a lot of people in that category, they drag the average that way. So their life expectancy or their mortality rate was only gonna be 15 or 20 years anyway.
You
so
don't
the fact
fit into that average.
I wasn't, and
he's young and healthy.
So and I've then since spoken to numerous people who have had liver transplants at a similar age as me and are 20, 30 years on.
This is an odd question.
And
I
still
don't know if
healthy.
it's something you would know. Do younger people tend to get priority over liver to older people? Or is it very dependent on what it is?
They do publish online, the NHS department, they publish online how their algorithm works.
Right.
They do publish that. I haven't investigated that, and I don't think they even tell you where you are in a queue. Like, it's not like that.
Because it's just sort of interesting. Not that I would like, but if you say you got some sort of 80-year-old alcoholic, and then you got someone who's like, early 20s.
I think they weigh up the benefit. Like if they think the alcoholic, for example, would only survive a couple more years, whereas the other person would probably survive 10, 15,
obviously
20.
there is that ethical debate, right?
Yeah.
Does the 80-year-old alcoholic deserve the liver over the 20-year-old liver disease genetic liver disease patient?
I'm sure that's not what
an
the
ethical
doctors
debate,
look at, though.
and I don't know, and I don't think that that's taken into consideration.
Really?
But I think what is taken into consideration, and hence why the 20-year-old may get liver over the 80-year-old, is survivability of the transplant is taken into consideration.
The actual transplant itself, how does that because that ultimately, your body could essentially reject the liver. What preparation, what happens? Like, other than you lying there and them chopping you open?
I think that's all. This is all information he's yet
Sorry,
to
I
learn.
put that really brutally. I just
No, I'm quite. I talk very openly and very, so you can sort of quite be.
Well, listen, just being soft and gentle was never really my thing. But
we know.
well, good for
I mean, so this is funny. I know kidneys today are really easy to transplant. They even do it through keyhole surgery. But unfortunately, it's not that organ I need to transplant. So liver is, they literally cut you from like, the scars are incredible. They literally fully take this whole organ out. It's done by hand. It's not done by machine. It's still full-on surgeons. It's a 12-hour long surgery. And it's a really, but they are fantastic at it. They do one a day and they're just smashing them out. They're like, you're literally banging them out left, right and centre doing liver transplants. So I spoke to my senior hepatologist who's on top of my case. And he was like, you don't want me doing your liver surgery. The guys that do it, they are pros. That's all they do every day. It's like, probably like what it's like for you and I to brush our teeth. That's what it's like. I mean, I'm not liking it to that. But,
listen, let me tell you something.
They are pros and they are skillful. And
I filmed a boob job the other day and it was like the man was just whipping in a few stitches. I mean, I nearly fainted, but it was, unbelievable. But okay,
don't know how the liver surgeon will feel about you comparing your...
listen,
your
this surgeon, it was
about
art.
it to brushing teeth,
yeah.
actually.
Yeah, how dare you? This surgeon was phenomenal. But no,
Medical
12 hours,
school.
it's a long
You know what?
surgery.
This is a way more interesting story.
What, the back alley surgeons?
Yeah.
I'm not being funny, and I don't know if one should ask this question, but I said to Alice, I said, can you get a liver on the black market?
I don't know if I can really comment on that. But
No,
yes.
but just out of curiosity, because I'm sure there are people that...
Yeah, I've
heard
rumours.
but you hear these horror stories of people going to Turkey for a boob job. They come up without a kidney
their
that's been
organs missing.
harvested.
Yeah.
So there's literally those ladies, I think they were in the news, and they literally went for a gastric band surgery in Turkey, and
Come out without their large intestine.
Yeah,
but it's
they lost their kidneys. So, but yes, there is a black market for organs. Of course there is. Yeah.
I'm fascinated by it.
You know what's crazy, right? Is there are people on social media who message me telling me that they know it and they know the price.
I know a bloke with a liver down the street. No, it's fucking
No,
not.
but not like down the street. They're like,
Wild.
you can go to this country and this
How
is the
much
cost.
do you pay for that?
I
You
don't inquire.
No, don't inquire.
DMs.
But it's just
I don't
I
reply to the
imagine
DMs.
millions.
But that is
I can't
fascinating,
imagine
isn't
being
it?
less.
I think it's like hundreds of thousands.
See, I get
Seriously?
nervous buying a fake designer handbag, let alone someone's fucking kidneys. Like, it's an odd concept, isn't it?
Oh my god. Can't believe we're talking about buying a black market organ.
No, but I mean that actually, you know what? I'd love to do a documentary on that, just the dark side of all that. Anyway, that's my. Anyway, you're not having yours off the black market, but
No.
So
Thank God.
the operation itself, 12 hours, and then
and then you come out of that, and you know what the doctor said to me? He was like, "You'll be out of here in a week." I was like, "Sorry?"
Really?
He was like, "Yeah, we patched you up, and like all things going well, you'll be out in a week or two. You're fit, you're healthy,
and function and pretty back to
the biggest thing that you've got is, and this is where it gets thing is the surgery's actually the easy part. It's about the rejection of the liver.
Although
and the match
rejection
or
medication's got so much better, hasn't it? In
Yeah,
the last
so
5 years.
How quickly does one know
Because-
if it's rejected?
So basically, obviously, imagine what happens. Firstly, is your body is all of a sudden waking up with a foreign organ in it, so it goes attack. So what they have to do, they have to just absolutely jam pack you full of immunosuppressants to absolutely just basically destroy your immune system, so it doesn't attack yourself.
Yeah.
And then slowly, as years go on, they should ease you off of it. And if you're lucky, and this would be if you were very lucky, there are some people that are even like their body gets so used to the organ, they fully accept it and they're off the anti-rejection medication
But that's a very
within
small
20
amount.
years' time. That's a very low percentage, but that would be best case scenario. And then obviously worst case scenarios is your body still rejects it and you don't get off it and then you have to have another transplantation.
Just out of
And
curiosity,
it could be anywhere in between, who knows?
if your body rejected that liver, could that liver be used for someone else?
Oh, that's a good question. I actually have no
These
idea.
are questions I don't know. But
Sorry, I'm just fascinated by this sort of.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think because obviously essentially what's happened is your body's attacked that liver and destroyed that liver, I believe.
Yeah.
So you've ruined the liver.
Yeah, I'd fact check that.
I
We'll
mean,
fact check probably a lot of this stuff, by the way. The black market ones too.
yeah. You know what's really interesting? And so this is because a lot of people go to me, if you could put it off, would you? And I guess your answer is, if it was, I got a liver transplant and that's it, you're fixed and you're on your way, you'd go, no, I wouldn't put it off. But unfortunately, it's not like that. It's your body could reject it. It could happen this. So actually, you do want to delay it as long as possible because medicine's only getting better.
You don't really know the after, but yeah.
And medicine's only getting better to so much to the point, which I don't think's in practice yet. But there is what's going on at the moment and is coming out is the use of stem cells. So where they will put stem cells onto your transplanted organ before they transplant it into you. So once you receive the transplant, your body thinks it's your organ and you don't even need immunosuppressant drugs. But that's in the future.
The way medicine is advancing is crazy.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, but that's
crazy.
I don't think that's something I was talking with the NHS about. I don't know where that is in, reality check to actually being put into practice, or if that is just only in research or what, or it's interesting. Do you investigate that and go, okay, oh, they're not doing that in the NHS because that's still in research. But if you go out to America and spend £1 million during that research,
have you how did your sort of process of working out who the right people to speak to? Because obviously there's the UK healthcare.
I can't say too much, and I really can't, and I won't say, but I'm very, very lucky with something that's happening because it will mean there's a lot of people, so that's
all you concern it.
Yeah.
No, fair enough. And in terms of are there any life changes that you have had to make other than not drinking? Is there any other thing how is your sort of health, fitness? Is there anything you don't really do anymore?
You're not really exercising the way you were before.
No, because I think it's only really got back to, what's so funny though. After I came out with sepsis and
I think you're going to stop it came out. I was like, hang on.
Not in that podcast. After I got out of hospital with the sepsis, I feel better.
I think he thought he was fine.
What happens? You go from literally probably, let's say you're 100% is full health, and I was literally probably at 1%, right, with this when I was in hospital. So you come out and you feel like you're at 10%. So that 100% increase from 1% makes you feel like, oh, I'm back to 100%, but you don't realise you've still got that, up to go. So I was within a couple of weeks of coming out of hospital, I went skiing.
He's all I want to do is go skiing.
Such a bloke.
I was 15 kilograms lighter, stick figure.
He was
had
fitting
no strength.
into my jeans.
I fitted into Alice's jeans.
I'm size 4'6", right? And he's wearing my jeans.
So people doubted online. This is. So I got a bit of a stick and a bit of trolling when sepsis happened. I haven't had any of that since the liver transplant. But after sepsis, the Daily Mail article said attention seeking, because I was trying to raise awareness. God, of course. Why is he taking photos? Well, I didn't take photos to put online. My family took photos to share with other family members to let them know what was going on. I mean, the fact you have to answer these questions is fucking ridiculous.
People in that Daily Mail comment
people
section
will
need to
question
fuck off. I'm going to start trolling them. I'm going to make an account just to fucking go back on them. Honestly.
I mean, I replied to them.
Yeah,
I do.
I've become a bit like that. It's like a thrill I get now.
Sam loves it.
Yes, exactly.
Sam loves it so much. He's shaking with excitement.
No, it's because then they come back shocked that you're the one who actually replied. I get it on my Instagram, and I think people think someone runs my account. They don't. It's me. I fucking read it.
What I love about it, especially when it comes to the health stuff, is you put the facts straight. So because even if there's just one person out of 1 million who says it, right? But there might actually be 1,000 people out there who think it. So by that one person saying it, you just absolutely destroy what they're thinking. You put everything straight with all the context, and they sit there and they delete their troll account. And you're like, yeah, I won. Yeah.
No, it's good. I think we should all start doing it because then it will stop it. But I think it is fucking mental when there's something like this going on where it's actually serious. If there's something silly, I get it. But with this, it's just so unnecessary. And it's actually fucking rude.
Questioning the weight loss, that
was
so
ridiculous.
Real.
I mean, I lost 15 kgs.
They're that's not possible.
I posted a hospital letter on my Instagram going, here's a hospital letter from the doctor.
Your address.
And then I realised it was my mum's address in the top left corner. I was like, whoopsie. And then everyone was commenting you need to remove this. I was like, oh, sorry, delete that. But yeah, it's absolutely crazy. You know what's actually amazing, which is that this is real humanity again, and I've seen it at its finest lately. It's recently, when I get the odd troll comment, I don't even need to reply anymore. because
He's
what
got
happens?
new fans.
So
That do it
people,
for him.
because they know the story, everyone hates on him. So like, if there's a Daily Mail article, and you know how bad Daily Mail comment section
Yes,
is.
all too well, let me tell you.
So the Daily Mail comment section is the most savage part of trolling. And what happens, there might be a troll comment, and all of a sudden, then there are people who know my story.
Fighting your corner.
Literally, and it gets like 100 dislikes. There's like 20 people replying, going, "You are so insensitive," and the person like either deletes their comment or thing. And I'm like,
can I tell you
I'm like,
something?
I feel so satisfied.
My slightly
thank
different,
you, thank you.
slightly different situation, but on private parts, I love it when it boots off in the comment section. I sit there going, "Music, go on," and then I like all of them.
Oh, it's so funny. I'm getting giddy talking about it.
Oh, it's this new high. Forget the alcohol. It's trolling.
I see why they do it now. Troll the trolls.
But because of social media, have you had anyone come to you saying that they, funnily enough, have the same thing?
Yeah. Loads.
Really?
I think that's actually been quite a beneficial thing because when Sam found out he needed a transplant, luckily his mum came across one person that could talk to him that had had a transplant and like put his mind at rest a bit. But when you look online, there is no stories about it. There's no support. It was like he didn't know what he was about to go through. And I feel like since everything happened, you've had so many messages of people almost like being reassuring because they're telling you about the transplant they've had, whether it be liver or kidneys or whatever it is. But there's like actually more people out there that can relate than you probably would ever realize.
Yeah. So a massive reason why I decided to speak so openly came off the back of a conversation I'd had with someone who had had a liver transplant, because the comfort she provided me from a 10-minute phone call by telling me about her experience and how she was perfectly healthy, she'd gone 30 years post-transplant, made me feel like after being told you're going to need a transplant, to have that conversation, like just took all of that. So I went, hold on a second. If I am willing to go on TV and talk about who shagged who, then I should very much be willing to go on TV and talk about a situation which is going to help people, which is going to provide social impact, which is going to raise awareness for people getting organs. And it's my duty to do that if I'm willing to discuss.
No, I think it's an incredible thing. It's very, it's brave as well, because not everyone, I don't think, when you go through something so personal and actually, traumatic.
At certain points, it's affected his mental health doing it. There's been points I'm sure that you've questioned.
Oh yeah, there was a big
why have I
point.
done it?
Yeah, there was a real big point. So when all the news articles came out, when all of the catastrophization happened, I literally hit a real low and I broke down.
But it's like, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. It's so fucking ridiculous. Well, I'm glad you come out the other side of that.
Yeah.
But
you know what? It was my aunt who really helped me.
Oh, let's get on to old Lisa Vanderpump. Quick one about your aunt, Lisa Vanderpump. Absolute icon.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of her work. I loved Real Housewives. I thought she was phenomenal.
Yeah, I think she's had an amazing journey, and I actually spoke about her in Paul Bronson's podcast. She's what she's meant to me. I've spoken about, I had an interview of her recently on my own podcast talking about her whole entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah, because she's phenomenal. She's done so much.
She's like just a bit of an icon to me, not in even the sense of what she's done with reality TV, but what she's done as her entrepreneurial journey and how she's just such a smart, savvy businesswoman at the same time. So yeah, she's really exciting to watch. It all started from, a young age. We went to the same theatre school. Not many people know that.
You did theatre school?
Yeah.
Did you want to do acting?
Yeah.
What, and you thought Made in Chelsea was your ticket? In saying that, I could have won a few Grammys.
Was close to a BAFTA once, wasn't it?
No, it won a BAFTA.
Oh, it won a BAFTA.
I fucking wasn't on it that.
Yeah, it wasn't. No, I was nowhere near that.
That's when it went
season.
downhill. Was me rolling in drunk.
You know what? I think it's actually disgusting that my season didn't win a BAFTA.
No, that's my favourite.
Like I said, if you don't laugh, you cry.
But you were always close. What is she? Your mum's sister, dad?
My dad's sister. And when my dad passed away, she just really took on the role of being, as I like to call her, my father in a wig. She hates that. But,
My father in a wig.
Yeah. She loves and hates
it.
She loves that we have such a close relationship and we're so similar at times.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's just been that absolute rock in my life, which I've needed because I've had such an amazing mother, and I lost my father, so I needed someone to fill that role, and she's done that. So
I feel like she really guides you as well.
Yeah.
She's
That's
very
so
like
nice.
firm with Sam. I feel like she's the
it's
one.
fantastic. She's taken on the father
Yeah.
figure. My mother is a mother. She's like, she comes round, she helps with like everything that I need her to do. She's that mother figure, and
Lisa guides you. Doesn't
Lisa's
she?
that
Yeah.
strong parental guidance that disciplines me and
But
puts
she's
me
got
into
a strong
place.
presence anyway. In general,
I
like,
think
with
she's
everyone.
fucking iconic.
Yeah.
And also she does this with everyone. She's a fantastic kind of parental figure. She walks into a room, people sit up straight.
Do they?
shit
There's an
themselves.
energy about
Yeah.
her.
Because wait, did she just come on Made in Chelsea?
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
and also think about this. Even Sophie Herman, when Lisa walks in the room, sits there like that, and
Yeah.
like makes sure, and she put Sophie Herman in her place. So there you
Really?
go. Yeah, if you can put the Herminator in her place, the kind
That
of
is amazing.
the kind of power that Lisa holds over a room. Yeah.
And then and then you had on your podcast.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I can't believe, it just shows, how amazing she is, because my podcast has just started, right?
Yeah, I want you to explain this after, but
Yeah, so my podcast has just started, and she's come on it, and we collaborated on it, and, she put it on her social media, and the interest and the engagement on
Really?
it was over 100x any of my other podcast episodes.
It's because she is fascinating.
She's amazing. She's not just, an icon in what she says and
No, but in
reality
business.
TV, but she's a fantastic businesswoman. She's got restaurants, she's got deals with Caesars, she's got a flower company, she's done amazing work for dog charity. So, to follow in her footsteps has been fantastic.
Well,
and
she said to you that you're getting a free ride with the name,
Yeah.
didn't she?
yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'm
to
like,
be
that's
honest,
actually
I
so
remember
fair.
hearing your name before you even joined the show, because you were meant to join at one point and then you
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah,
Because
twice.
everyone went wild about it. They were like, Lisa's going to come on. Like, people went beside themselves. And so, and now a bit about your podcast. So you just launched this, and what is it? It's all
Yeah.
about people making millions.
Oh, it's just about it's.
I'd like to
more-
come on, but I haven't made fucking millions. Okay, I would have to flog a lot of lube.
Before I did reality, I've only done reality TV for 2 years, and before that, I've always worked in finance and always run businesses. So that's what I'm passionate about. But I wanted to. It was a bit of advice I took from my aunt. She was like, "What are you going to do to, group those two things together? Your reality TV presence along with your business?" And I thought, well, hold on a second. This idea of a podcast which talks about business mixes those two perfectly. So on it, we talk to my clients, friends, family, and we hear their entrepreneurial journeys
Yeah.
and how they've made lots of money and done very well at it. And really, it's meant to be fascinating because there is some guys on it who come on it and sell a bottle of whiskey for 2.8 million.
Can I say, the way people make money nowadays
wild.
is ridiculous.
And that's what's so interesting about the podcast. It's the fascinating ways they've made money, how they've done it, the inspiration. And so it's meant to give people an inspiration. It's meant to give people ideas. And it's really enjoyable. And then my aunt was the perfect season finale because it was... This is,
I think it was everything in one place. Bits about Lisa. Lots of people know her from Real Housewives and this and that. But your podcast showed the journey from start, when she met Ken to the empire that she has now.
And no one really knows that journey. So that's why I
Yeah.
think it's got so much engagement. There's so much about Lisa that people didn't know about her before reality TV, why she did reality TV. And that's all on there. So that's
I'm gonna have to
really
fucking
interesting.
listen.
Yeah. It's a good old listen, not to toot my own podcast, but yeah, I thought-
Listen, we'll promo yours on
Yeah,
mine,
yeah.
you promo mine.
I'll collab with you on this. So
Oh, yeah.
we'll collab together and then we can circulate, kind of do a nice little loop.
People helping people.
Yeah.
And I'll help you troll your fuckers.
Yeah. You know what? If I see someone comment badly on any of your stuff, I'm going to go
you.
in. I'm going to go in. I was like, you don't know, Liv.
She really is a bellend.
Let me tell you the real juice.
And other than the obvious, anything exciting? You got season 2 of the podcast coming up.
yeah. Well, so
Wedding.
Huh?
Wedding.
yeah,
Yes.
we're getting
So-
married next month, technically.
Yeah. It's,
Oh, shitting hell, it's soon.
yeah.
Yeah, but that's just the official signing of the papers.
Yeah.
Our real wedding will be 2027.
Yeah. We've got a big wedding plan for 2027. Huge Vanderpump style, big
Off the
British
walls.
wedding. Yeah. That's 2027 May. It's going to take a year and a half to plan. I'm making sure that Lisa does all of her artistic work for free, which she normally charges millions for. So, her and my cousin basically are going to design our whole wedding, but they haven't been
Have
told
you even
that yet.
asked them?
No, I haven't.
Ask them on this.
You heard it here.
Schedule.
By the way, will you do it for me? That's really, really exciting. We've got lots going on at the moment. We've got lots going on.
Do you think you'll go back to Chelsea or take a little break?
For sure. Yeah, I enjoy doing it. And as long as it stays authentic and to our reality, I will always do it, until I feel like it's no longer for us.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I think it's been a very nice journey for us.
Yeah.
Especially these last 2, which is a weird thing to say. I was going to say this earlier. It's weird to say we've enjoyed having such a wholesome journey in authentic filming when it's been such, emotional filming about those kinds of topics. So it's a weird thing to say that we've enjoyed it, but we have enjoyed it.
Because sometimes it can be weirdly therapeutic. And I used to say this, and I don't know what the fuck it is, but it is therapeutic in an odd way.
I am so glad you've said that as well. And I know exactly why it's therapeutic. It's because especially British nature is to not talk about your feelings. And what Made in Chelsea does is force those conversations.
Yeah.
You have to confront a lot.
And what is the biggest thing about mental health is if you're not talking about your problems, you suppress them, you bottle them up, and then you explode internally, you implode.
Yeah.
So when you talk about it and you become so used to talking about everything in these formats on reality TV, what happens is you go home and you have much better communication with your family, your friends, and your relationships, which I believe is really, really good for your mental health.
Yeah, you said that perfectly. Yeah. Thank you both so much. This has been
having us.
incredible. I wish you all the best. Thank you,
you.
Sam and Alex.